We all dream of holidays on a beach. Sun, sand, and surf make for relaxed holidays and times of fun. But in these scenic yet serene surroundings, not all is well. Picture your favorite beach. Picture the waves kissing the sand and gently rolling back. Now, imagine all of it gone. Not just for holidaygoers, but millions of people across India and the world for that matter make their lives and livelihoods upon a coastline. How unfortunate then to lose some of this magnificent coastline without even knowing what hit us. The world over, people are waking up to the state of the oceans. From pollution to overfishing, from plastics to oil spills to steep changes in the weather. The news only seems to be getting worse. Closer to the coast, from erosion to sand mining, from damming of rivers to illegal constructions, the state of the coastline is definitely dire. India is home to over 7,500 kilometers of coastline and about 14% of our population. Many of these precious lives have been lost. Over 1,500 kilometers of our coastline is exposed to erosion. And those who worry about climate change know it's going to get worse as sea levels rise and storms and cyclones get bigger. It's time we get to know what exactly is happening.
Karnataka is having a long coastal length around 300 kilometers. So since 25 years, we experienced erosion at many places.
It is the citizens that bear the brunt of it that has claimed lives and led to severe property loss and damage.
ಮಳೆ ಬರುವ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ನೀರೆಲ್ಲ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೊಡೆಯುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ನಿಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಭಯ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
Increased financial stress has hampered normal life along the coast.
The affection of the business is too much. Like when the corrosion is happening, the guest won't stay here because the water will flow to our property also. And one more thing I want to say is we had a farm here, like coconut, and there are many trees. Even that also we have lost. Entire belt has lost.
Ullal is a small town situated 18 kilometers from Mangalore city. It is an important trading center for fish and fish manure, with fishing being the main occupation. One can get a glimpse of the glorious history from its beaches. On the surface, things seem calm. Looking at the gigantic scale of the sea compared to the small beaches, we might wonder, how can we even make an impact? But beaches have protected us for centuries, and so there must be a way forward. When things do get bad, we start pointing fingers we learn what is required to survive. It is these efforts that we have studied and researched at Ullal, where a multitude of problems have made life hard for its people.
ಮಂಗಳೂರು ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕನ್ನಡ ಭಾಗದ ಉಲ್ಲಾಳ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರಷ್ಟು ಕಡಲ ಕೊರತೆ ಬಹಳ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 2008ರಿಂದ 2009ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಈ ಕಡಲ ಕೊರತೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಒಂದು ಶಾಶ್ವತ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿತು.
Thankfully, all is not lost. The government of Karnataka has swung into action by forming the Sustainable Coastal Protection and Management Investment Program, along with its Public Works Department and the port authorities. This investment program is supported by an Asian Development Bank funded loan. Strong international and local consulting companies are also helping, so the team is very strong and knowledgeable. The goal? To study, to understand, and to provide solutions to protect this exquisite natural resource for its people. To protect beach economies and the environment for today and for the future.
ನಾವು ನಿಂತಿರೋ ಜಾಗ ಈ ಉಲ್ಲಾಳದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಈ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 223 ಕೋಟಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಐಟಮನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕೈಗೆತ್ಕೋತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಹಳೇದಾಗಿದ್ದು ಶಿಥಿಲಗೊಂಡಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ವಾಟರನ್ನು ರೀಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ 2 ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂಥ 2 ರೀಫನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಮತ್ತು 8 ಇನ್ಶೋರ್ ಬರ್ಮ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋದು. ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ಈ ನೇತ್ರಾವತಿ ರಿವರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೂಳು ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ಡ್ರೆಡ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಏರಿಯಾಕ್ಕೆ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ 4 ಐಟಮನ್ನು ನಾವು ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ವಿ.
To design a solution that would be best suited to the conditions at Ullal, in-depth research was undertaken for over a year, keeping track of high tide, low tide, the coastline, the waterbed layer, force of all the waves, currents and other pressures throughout the different seasons to get an accurate picture of just what was going on.
ಈ ಥರದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾದರಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ CWPRS ಅಂದರೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಪವರ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪೂನಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಕಮಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಅಧ್ಯಯನಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರಿಂದ ಅನುಮತಿ ಪಡೆದ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಕಾಮಗಾರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
We need to assess the past, execute in the present so that we can preserve our coastline and its resources for the future. To better understand the nuances and the technicalities that go into coastal management, this story focuses on one case study to help us better understand coastal processes and the systems involved in making a difference so that we can pass on a better world to our children. On the one hand, silting was causing the narrow mouth to the old Mangalore port to become harder to navigate. What seemed to be an innocent solution when 2 breakwaters were built to drain the river turned into a major problem for the people living downrift. The breakwater for the river rapidly aggravated the problem of coastal erosion. On the other hand, the building of the breakwater wreaked havoc with the rest of the coastal systems. Emergency rock seawalls were built. Natural flow of sand was blocked and diverted offshore. The waves could then slowly eat into the sand reserves on the beaches, causing heavy erosion and constant rebuilding of higher and higher seawalls. Local people were inflicted with erosion now, while climate change in the future will make this worse.
ಈ ಮೀನುಗಾರಿಕೆಯನ್ನೇ ನಂಬಿಕೊಂಡು ಇರುವಂಥ ಈ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಕೊರತಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ತಡೆಯಾಗುವಂಥ ಕಡಲ್ ಕೊರತೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಈಗ ಮಳೆಗಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. ನೀರು ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಯ ಪರಿಸರವನ್ನು ಕೊಚ್ಚಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ರಸ್ತೆ ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ನೀರು ಬರುವಂಥ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ತದೆ.
It was the thoughtfulness of the government to remedy the problem, along with the masterminds who not only established the problem, but also came up with solutions. By working with the people who live along the coast, a long-term understanding further strengthened the solutions to be also sustainable. After all, we are paying for the mistakes of yesterday. May we ensure that our future is a little more stable. As long as man interferes with nature, then he and his machines must do the work nature used to do to maintain the balance.
ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಪೋರ್ಟಿನ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ವಾಟರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಕಡಲ ಕೊರತೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಉತ್ತರ ಮತ್ತು ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ದಿಕ್ಕಿನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ವಾಟರ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಓರಿಯಂಟೇಷನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಯಿತು. ನಮ್ಮ ಇದು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಆ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅವೆರಡು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ವಾಟರ್ಸ್, ನಾರ್ತ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸೌತ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ವಾಟರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ರೀಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ.
By changing the length of the southern breakwater, sand could bypass more easily and feed into the southern beaches. The river orientation was also changed to be more southerly. The strong natural river flows then did the work for us by carrying sand to the southern beaches. Immediately, benefits were seen with sand that had been trapped by the breakwater or sent offshore, now helping to break the waves and protect many people's houses. The most important part of the solution was the clever offshore reefs. 2 large offshore reefs were constructed to create calmer zones in their lee, where sand can therefore accumulate and form a beach. Already, monitoring shows that several thousand cubic meters of sand has collected at the beach and offshore water to repair decades of erosion. These offshore reefs were cleverly and scientifically created, so much so that it ensures that these beaches are stable even in the monsoon and stormy sea conditions. These reefs act to create accumulation over several hundred meters of shoreline, not just in their immediate lee, and they are still collecting sand. Every year, the beaches get better and planned nourishment of the shoreline with new sand will accelerate the natural processes. Groins, as an intermediate measure and in locations beyond the shelter provided by the reefs. Groins, known locally as berms, were constructed. These are short breakwaters some 65 meters long that run cross-shore from the seawalls. The groins help to collect sand which is coming inshore and alongshore when the big monsoon waves are replaced by swell waves from the south. The solution is already bearing fruit, with beach accretion helping in restoring the once pristine coastline. The reef is a soft coastal protection solution ready for climate change, located well offshore and provides shelter for boats, better fish communities, and a beautiful, uninterrupted, sandy shoreline. And groins have successfully provided intermittent but helpful pocket beaches for the public and fishermen. As part of the solution, the Sustainable Coastal Protection and Management Investment Program, Tranche 1, was successfully completed at Ullal Beach. After the implementation of the project, with its offshore reefs and breakwaters and groins, the beautiful beach has been growing each year and is once again attracting tourists. The erosion has come down considerably and makes this a story of success. This method has now been acknowledged by other countries who are keen on implementing our approach. Apart from the technical solutions to the problem, the key stakeholders needed to be addressed. This was done through multiple awareness and community outreach programs to involve the local stakeholders in protecting this precious natural resource that is our coastline. Awareness campaigns were undertaken in depth to understand the needs of the people and placing the safety of our citizens on priority.
ಇನ್ನೀಗ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅದು ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕೊಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ರೀಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ SMO ಅವರು ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು 15 ಜನ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಕಮಿಟಿ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಲೋಕಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಕಸ ಕಡ್ಡಿ ಯಾರು ಲೋಕಲ್ಸ್ ಈ ಸಮುದ್ರ ಬದಿಗೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕದಂತೆ ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆ ವಹಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಮತ್ತು ಏನಾದರೂ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಕಾಲ್ಜಾರಿ ನೀರಿಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬಿದ್ದರೆ ಅವರನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು SMO ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಾವು ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು.
The government took things further with the community outreach programs through a dune planting drive. By creating a nursery of native species found through the region. This planting drive helped hold the soil together. The community was involved in the project, giving them the pride of being custodians of their own coastline. And these efforts helped to further prevent erosion and protect the villages from heavy winds. Empowering the stakeholders has helped in shaping the solutions to protect our beaches for times to come.
Community development initiatives wherein the community living in and around that affected area, they also participated voluntarily and they have imparted their experience so that these projects implemented properly.
The government of Karnataka and the project management unit can be thanked for undertaking novel solutions to protect our coastline, and now their hard efforts are paying dividends. The team is proud to have been able to protect the citizens of our coastline. And everyone is determined to ensure that any future developments don't hinder the progress of our coastal protection program. After the success of the Ullal project, the government has decided to implement next phase, Sustainable Coastal Protection and Management Investment Program Tranche 2, under which 10 key projects have been identified. Those projects being the Someshwara Phase 1 and Phase 2, Mukacheri, Yermal Tenka, Kodi Kanyana, Kodi Bengre, Udyavara, Marvante, dune nourishment projects in Uttara Kannada. 4 projects have already been executed and are nearing the completion stage. From all the bleak news about our oceans and coastlines, this comes as a welcome break. It might be only baby steps, but they are steps in the right direction. Not only to protect the best interests of the people and their livelihoods, but to protect the very environment that provides for all of us. The beaches are back. Kilometers of pristine beach, protected for today and our children of the future. The tourists have once again been flocking to the beaches, perhaps best experienced when the Ullal festival takes place. Slowly, businesses are bouncing back, and the economic activity around the beach is also providing for livelihoods.
ಉಳ್ಳಾಳದಲ್ಲಿ 35 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬೀಚಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾ ಮತ್ತು ಮಿಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿವಸ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 10 ವರ್ಷ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ನಂತರ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಔಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು, ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಔಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 2 ಅಂಗಡಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈಗ ಏನಂದರೆ ಒಂದು 10-12 ಅಂಗಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಔಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಜಾಗ ಬಿತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಆನಂತರ ಈಗ ದುಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು 10 ಅಂಗಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಬಡವರು ದುಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಆನಂತರ ಈಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಮುಂಚೆಗಿಂತ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಈಗ.
As hordes of people head for the beach once again, we remember how crucial it is for our own survival. Whether to protect us from the changing climate or to protect us from the sea, beaches are integral to our survival on the coastline. It takes new science and research. It takes engineering and human ingenuity. But together, we can make a difference. The next time you're on a beach, think of all the forces at work. Let it not be a memory that only we can treasure. Let's keep this marvelous treasure for many future generations when their time comes. There is no greater satisfaction than leaving behind a better world for the future. For the future of the oceans. For the future of the coastal area and its people. For the future of the world.